I've been in the gem mineral business for 10 years. I started in this business in 2008. I worked for a large jewelry manufacturing company. I did shows all over the country, from Tucson, Arizona, the Tucson Gem Mineral Show, to Southern Jewelers Trade Association in Georgia, to shows at the Javits Center in Manhattan. After doing all those shows, you know, like, I like Gem Fair because it's a family-oriented business. It's not all about price point and money. It's about feeling, about connection. It's about beauty versus, you know, when you work in the trade, it's all about price point and how much can I sell it for. And that's a big part of what we do, but at the same time, it's not so much fun. So my thing is high energy gemstones. I like things that, like, people have a strong reaction to. You know, I've been in this business for a very long time, and a lot of people would come up to me for years and be like, what's this stone good for, you know, or what's this good for? And I'm like, how am I supposed to know? And I came to this place, if it's pretty and you like it, then that's good medicine. Stones, a lot of people might seek them out for prestigious purposes, for bragging rights, but a lot of people just seek them out to feel good, you know, because they think they're beautiful. You know, we go hiking because it's beautiful. We do lots of things because of beauty. And so when people come here to the fair and they are looking at these stones, you know, these like very mysterious things that people wonder if they're real or not, it's a connection with nature, you know. And so I think that's what people should look for, is like what makes them feel connected to nature. I'd like to really talk about these guys. These are a Canadian ammonite. There's only a few dealers in the world that carry these. They're mined in one place in Lethbridge, Canada, southern Alberta. And they're about 70 million years old, give or take. And these are preserved shells. So you can think about like a seashell or abalone or pearl, but that's been hardened with time and turned to stone. You know, this deposit will probably be finished in the next 50 years and there will not be any more. So it's a very rare and mysterious, beautiful phenomenon.
Can you talk a little bit about like the difference between a fossil and a rock, maybe?
Well, sure. So fossils and rocks, you know, are kind of the same in some ways because they're hard silicated things, but rocks are, you know, are mineral formations versus ammonites or fossils in general are animals, you know, and they were things that were alive, you know, so fossilized animals and petrified plants, and I don't understand all the exact differences, but you know, when it comes to fossils, you know, they were animals. So this stone is called moldavite. You can notice that like teardrop shape. 15 million years ago there was a massive meteorite impact that struck southern Germany, created this 200-mile wide crater, and this is the result basically. The heat from the explosion of the impact melted all the stone, creating this 200-mile wide crater and ejecting that molten mass skyward. It flew 500 miles from its impact site and landed in the Czech Republic, you know, in what is known as the Moldau River Valley, or with Laven. The largest piece ever found was 180 grams. This piece is 25 grams, so, you know, whatever that is, 8 times that size. This is a piece of petrified wood from Indonesia. You know, it's kind of a famous petrified wood. You know, people see it often in lawn ornaments and stuff, but the family that carved this, they've been carving for 14 generations. You know, it's a very long time. You know, it's many, many years these people have carved, and they're master carvers. The people that I know is like 4 generations of family, and they still all live and work together doing these carvings. You know, and these are the same carvers that make like this piece, for instance. This is a piece of pyrite from Peru, and then this is jet, which is a 120 million year old fossilized coal. It has a little rose gold and ruby in the eyes. And the artist that conceptualized this, his name is Lee Downey, and is a relatively famous artist. You know, for me, like with all the stones, I feel like they kind of choose me. You know, they kind of find me and I enlist in their service, you know, and I'm bringing them to the people, you know. And so oftentimes, like, you know, like say when it comes to moldavite, you know, like moldavite and I, you know, we knew each other for a very long time, so to speak. You know, I'd seen it around and, you know, wasn't so attached. But then over time, you know, it just kind of crept in as this like, Yeah, I mean, this figurehead in my business. And like for me, it was all about the reaction that people would have. You know, I had a little bit of moldavite and people would come over and be like, oh my gosh, you got the moldavite. And, you know, and some people would say, oh, I can't have that around me. It makes me sick. It's like too weird of an energy. And other people are like, oh, I need more of that. And for me, that was really interesting. So it's like I do these fairs 40 times plus a year. And so I want to keep it interesting. And to see these personal reactions from people was the most intriguing. And so over time it became the centerpiece of my business. Since we're on the topic of moldavite, you know, it's like these pendants here, you know, this is a faceted moldavite, you know, so these for many years were known as Bohemian emeralds. And they were just misinformed, you know, the people, you know, they were thinking, well, it's a green stone, it's found in ancient Bohemia or, you know, modern day Czech Republic, you know, and but yeah, this stone, you can see in this one too, these waves, you know, and so the most interesting part about moldavite is it all exhibits this movement, you know, because if you imagine like a 5-gallon bucket of water getting chucked into the air with a huge amount of force and do that on like 1,000,000 times larger scale, that's the result of moldavite, you know, so it was just a large mass of molten earth that was ejected skyward from the impact of the meteorite, creating all these like very interesting, unique teardrop shapes and, you know, splatter shapes, you know, kind of disc-like shapes. And since we're talking about it, like this golden material here that's surrounding it, this is called Libyan desert glass, or, you know, golden tektite. It's found in Egypt, Libya, and Sudan, and was used by King Tut in a breastplate of his. And people didn't even know until recently that it was actually carved from this meteoric glass, you know, this tektite. Which I find is really intriguing, that like for thousands and thousands of years these stones have been used in religious emblems and cultural motifs. The last thing I want to show you right here is this dagger right here. It's carved out of a stone called shungite. You can see these little bits of gold in there. That's pyrite. And that's one of the ways you know that you're getting real shungite. This stone has actually been studied, you know, by scientists, and it creates its own energetic frequency that repels electromagnetic waves from cell phones and different forms of radiation, you know. And so we thought it'd be nice to just have a symbolic tool, you know, for not only that protection, but for, you know, say cord cutting and other ritualistic practices. And they're beautiful. All the members of Gem Fair, all the vendors, you know, we work really, really hard, you know, to bring all this tonnage of rock and, you know, beautiful gemstones all over the country. And I know myself personally, I care about it very much. And so I'd love for you to come check out what we do here at the Good Medicine Shop and see what we're all about.